Hi, Gary here. Fourth quarter observer of family, its function, and a child's future. I'm going to start with a quote by William Durant, a historian. And he wrote a series of books here back in the 30s and 40s and 50s with his wife. And the quote is this: "The family is the nucleus of civilization." And how true is that? You know, even in times back thousands of years ago, when the Iroquois Indians were settled here before we ever even showed up on this continent, they would have these tribal councils where they would look at the future of their tribe, and they would always go out 7 generations and ask the question at the beginning of every tribal council of how will the decisions we make today affect 7 generations. And they had nothing else better to do with that than try to look at this kind of stream of what their whole family, their culture, their tribe stood for. And so I want to really mention that what's very important about this is your mindset. And what is your mindset? Well, I know mine is made up of generations of my grandparents and my parents and aunts and uncles and everybody else that kind of formed me as a child moving forward, good or bad, you know. And it's also tied with money, again, good or bad. But what's interesting about this is family legacy is about that thing. It's about the accomplishments that take place. It's about the values. It's about the beliefs. It's about the family history and actions and the wisdom and knowledge that gets passed along. And this has been something that's been very important here in the United States. It started with our founding fathers that really set this tone for what this country is all about. And so we are distinctly different, and each family is distinctly different when it comes to this. I've often chuckled to myself because once in a while with my 9 siblings, and one of us or our children or whatever will do something, we say, wow, that's a Klaben, you know, good or bad, that's how it is. Also, when I've dealt with my partner Kevin and his 7 siblings, I just remember something his father would say when they're having a difficulty with an issue or complaining about something. He'd say, "What's your last name?" You know, and then that name Coyle meant something. And they all knew what the rules were, what was expected of them, what their history was all about, and everything else. And you know what? The money took a back seat. You know, the money was there to help them move along in life and, you know, achieve the things they wanted to do the things that family wanted to accomplish and everything else. But it always took the back seat in those relationships. And I thought that was a very powerful way to put that together. You know, in estate planning, we do a lot of work. We try to move assets around and do things, have financial structures in estate structures, and we save taxes, and all sorts of things take place. But I would ask you this: would you rather have Jack Nicklaus's trophies and awards and acclamations and all of that, or would you rather have his swing and his knowledge of golf? And now I think for most of us it's the latter. And so money sits in a supporting position. And what kind of treads along with that money is all these things with family, because we tend to stay in the family and moves along. And that really is the essence of what this whole observer is about. And it's really about your mindset, how it was formed, how you attach money to it, what values it has to you, and beliefs, etc., and how it moves to the next generation. So I want to end with something I read back in November when the Paris attacks on the Bataclan Theater. There was a radio journalist, Antone Liros. His wife, Helene, happened to be in that theater and was killed. And this is something put to the terrorist on his Facebook page, an open letter, and I'm going to read it. It says, "We are two, my son and I, but we are stronger than all the armies in the world." And he goes on to say, "I don't have any more time to devote to you. I have to join Melville, who is waking up from his nap. He is barely 17 months old." And finally he says, "He will eat his meals as usual, and then we are going to play as usual. And for his whole life, this little boy will threaten you by being happy and free." And I think that says it all. So until next time, enjoy.